Hello everyone, this is Bigalski.
And JTB.
And this is Chapter 8 of my very hard Ninja Gaiden commentary series with my good buddy JTB. And just to say it at the beginning, like I have before, this is about making encounter time limits, chapter bonuses, except for maybe the essence, and controlling my essence bonus, and then controlling my essence to where, you know, I can get my UF without having to farm a ton without missing chapter limits or encounter time limits. On this fight right here, if you were probably playing an NGB, going for a karma run, you would skip this fight so you could have the celerity and come back in chapter 12 or 11. But
or even 13, actually.
Huh?
Just thinking about
what?
it. Even in 13, like on the higher difficulties, like you'd have time, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. So since all the encounter time limits respawn back to to the full thing,
take a drink.
Might as well go ahead and do it. And plus, I have a ton of time. And look, I got my 2 essence bonus because I killed a guy with the 20-hit combo.
Also, worth mentioning, you have the level 3 dragon sword here, which is a substantial damage upgrade from the level 2. The ninjas, I mean, if pretty much the Azuna drop is like the only kind of guaranteed string you have on them at level 2. They can survive a UT. Even like XY double connecting haze straight slash fiend sealer doesn't always kill them, so having the level 3 sword here is actually a big upgrade. You've got not only the increased damage, but you've also got gleaming blade, which is, you know, the best move in the game.
It's so much fun to be able to do those guys. I don't kill them with, like I said, I don't have the style and flair that you have, but it's still nice to have that whenever you definitely need it. Because it just makes mincemeat. What do we call it? The blender sometimes.
Yeah, the gleaming blade is just it's funny how of all the little changes they made from NGO4 to Black and even Sigma, the gleaming blade was never toned down.
Right.
They never thought like maybe this move's a little bit too good.
Well, they took out the smoke bombs in the later. I mean, they still have them in Sigma, but
yeah, they're kind of weird in Sigma, though,
blade.
aren't they? They fall through the floor a lot in Sigma, which is annoying.
So I went down and picked up some incendiaries because they're free. I mean, why waste $1,500 when I don't have to? And again, a lot of UTs, the flying swallow. I'm telling you, it seems it connects quite a bit. I mean, it doesn't always do it, but it's really a safe move for what I'm trying to do.
Oh yeah, the Red Hot Iron Brand on the flails. I mean, I think just in general, the Flying Swallow is just a better move in this game. The enemies don't dodge as much. I noticed that when I've recently just done my Chapter 6. And I think I had a Monk Fiend dodge that once in the Archive Challenge. And whereas on Black, they dodge it all the time.
So, what I'm doing, like I said earlier, showing all the points. And so some of the fights I'm going to fight 2 times, some of the fights I'm going to have fight 3 times because of the chapter time limit.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's going to be really nice here on successive play. Thinking about my run, I'm actually going to have the Debilero right here. Like I'll be able to get it at the start of the chapter.
Yeah, that's something that I've debated too. Whenever I get to that part, you know, do I turn right and go up and collect the other 2 scarabs, or do I go left and kind of go through the town? And I decided to go through the town because it seemed like if you go up and then you have to come back down to go back up again.
Yeah.
And this was bad. Always make sure you listen to the bats dissolving after you hit them, because if you leave and they haven't heard the dissolve sound, you're going to get what happens right here, which is nothing.
It cuts off as well, which is really annoying. You get a lot more enemies here, though. So if you had, this is one encounter where I really missed having the Luna. If you had the Luna, you'd just be able to stand like right at the start and just turn him into burger. Really, it'd be so much fun to have the Luna here, but unfortunately they don't give it you because if you notice, you don't get any. There's no laser helicopters. There's no rocket guys. These guys aren't the armored soldiers like you get in Black. That parry your Flying Swallow, so they will just drop down. And if you had the Luna, you would just destroy them. It would just be really, really funny.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying earlier, so I decided to go downtown. That way I could fight more fights, because, you know, going right to go back down to come back. And look at that. That's happened quite a bit, that he'll target that dead guy if they're not fully dissolved. But I wanted to have more time to fight the guys, multiple times. If I had done the other pattern, then, I might not have had the time to, fight some of these fights 2 or 3 times. So
yeah, it's really handy when you can just respawn a fight like that, like just kind of go in and out.
Yeah, and that it's worth something. And, I always play it safe. X plus A to jump on their heads is going to stun them. Be careful of any wall clings. And then save. And then I didn't do the fight. After you save there and restart, because after I get to my save point, I usually stop, go turn off my recording device, make sure everything's captured, then I'll start again. So that fight at that statue respawns. But I didn't, fight that one again because I already got it twice.
Yeah, that's actually the same fight as the one down below, is worth mentioning. Even though it is in kind of a different area, that is actually the same spawn system. Like, if you'd have done that fight again, you'd have got like 2,500 out of the time bonus and that. And again, at that point, with how long it takes to do the fight, is it worth that amount of time spent just to get, like 3,000 points, basically?
Well, I was trying to target that stupid turret, and it kept going to the guy. And not where I wanted to go, so that was a little...
His auto-targeting in this game is substantially worse.
Watch what happens here. Watch. Coming up.
Okay, I thought he was going to, try and attack the wall
or
something
this,
with
watch.
that UT. Oh, there we go.
Now watch it. He does it again.
Yeah. As I
say, we go.
He does it. Oh, man. That's something to bear in mind, actually. I don't think we've talked about that before. When you have a UT in that situation, Ryu's auto direction will be in the direction he's facing. So when you have a UT like that, where he's facing a wall, you are kind of relying on the targeting system to not kind of mess you up. Whereas if you can position yourself to where the direction of the UT being released will be in the direction of the enemy, you can kind of alleviate that happening a little bit, because even if Ryu wants to be an idiot and just release it in the default direction will be where the enemy is, so he'll still hit them.
Well, I could go back, whenever I came in, that's a great spirit elixir. I don't need it right now. As soon as I came in the blue door, I could have gone back out and respawned that fight. But, again, there's no point in doing that when I can have a lot easier fights here.
Yeah.
And
I think that's where
focus on.
The Debilero is going to help too as well, actually, that fight. Because you have the range. The Debilero's UT it has so much range. You'll be able to abuse that.
And see, there we go, talking about going down the stairs, when to press your Y. I pressed a little too early. So all that stuff really... then I... Usually, whenever I tried this a few times, he would run towards me. And then the one time he doesn't is when, of course, I get ready to do it. And then...
Ryu being Ryu.
And Al being Al.
The flail ET does a nice chunk of damage, though, in this game. I feel like they may have toned that down a little bit in Black. But that one shot's like most man-sized guys, which is good.
Now, I will say, even if that timer started, if they saw me right there, as long as I don't engage them at all and leave and come back, it'll still be worth 10,000.
That's right.
In Black, if you left it and they saw you, that was it.
Do you have a sun on here?
Yes.
Okay, I'm surprised that Red Hot Iron Brand into down Y doesn't kill them. That's usually like a really good... one of the best techniques really in Black when you have potency on is do that move into the downward kick, that one, and then that takes them out,
Yeah, but I do have it on. I double checked it. And there I go again. I did it at the same time. It's like, let the guy dissolve before you use your X plus A. My movement control is so bad, I rely on X plus A just to know where I'm going sometimes. So I think here I actually learned is like, don't press it until the guy dissolves.
Yeah.
I think I actually learned. So I'm going to wait. Now I'm going to do it. And then I missed my A.
No, that was just to fake him out, look.
Yeah. I wanted to give him a few seconds of life before I destroyed him with these knives.
Yeah. It's weird looking at like the little differences. It would be so cool if they, if we talk about like NGB HD collection or something, if they gave us like everything. it would be really interesting to have like a Hurricane Pack 3, where like you have Black and 4 combined, but like you keep everything. Like you keep the best parts of both. So you have Intercept, but you have the quicker recovery frames of Black. So like incendiary stuns are a thing, you know, in Black. They're not in this game. You just saw it there. Like they get stunned by the explosion, but the actual impalement, you know, doesn't do anything. You could have all these little differences. You could have the health that they have in NGO4. I think that would be fine, because in Black you have the Luna. You have more abilities that are available because of the movement.
That was kind of a bad luck explosion.
Yeah, that was a cheeky grenade, that was. Also, that Inferno activation doesn't seem as powerful in this game, just from what I've been playing.
Well, see, on that first fight, after I did the flying swallow into him and then came down, the Y to come down with the kick actually killed the guy. Mm-hmm. And so I wasted the Fiend Sealer move, which wasted a little time. But on that very last guy there, it didn't do that. And the reason I'm fighting this fight 3 times is because I had 3 Nympho slots. I mean, you might as well use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
While you're down here, and so you're just going to refill it and then again try to get some essence.
Does the level 3 Dragon Sword ET one-shot these guys?
You know, I didn't even try any of that stuff.
I just think I would assume.
See, that's the thing. Once I kind of get focused into what I'm trying to do, you know, I didn't feel like experiment. I just want to get this over with. You know, it's. I'm telling you, some of the bloopers, y'all would be like, "Oh my god, this guy sucks." And again, this might not be the most optimal pattern, but you know, I didn't put enough time into it to maybe, you know, do that. And see, again, I went towards the direction of the guy because he was to my right, or as I'm looking on the screen, but he went the other way. And you know, is it something that I did?
I think that's just the input system in NGO4. Like, it's just not as clean as Black. You know,
so
that tends to happen a lot.
It takes 2 incendiaries to kill a turn. It takes 4 windmill shurikens to kill the guys. And look at that.
That was unlucky.
I find all these ways, man. All these ways.
I love the you know that the actual flail part of Ripping Thunder. I love it when that just knocks their head off. It looks so good.
So I decided not to go on the breakable wall. All it is a just a regular spirit elixir and a life of the gods. I'm not really collecting any of the life of the gods.
Yeah, I'd skip those on this as well.
Yeah, because my health bar is fine.
Well,
with all the 1,000 gods I'm going to get.
Yeah, and they keep that free one in Chapter 4 that's not in Black. So your health bar past Chapter 7 in NGO4, like even if you just get the Life of the 1,000 Gods, is always going to be like 1 upgrade larger than it is in Black.
Me and my great camera control here. You know, I've noticed sometimes if you like start to input as you're coming out the door, you don't always have to go in the direction you were thinking. I mean, how many times have you walked out that door and just hit straight? And at that point, I ran into the wall to the left.
Yeah, so, sometimes, yeah.
Again, it just makes me wonder, and that's where, see, again, it doesn't always connect. You know,
yeah, not always.
Block it.
Yeah, they can block it, but it is very rare. Well, these guys can, like certain enemies. Like, again, that's what we've talked about before with like the defense of the enemies. Like, commando guys are completely free to the Red Hot Iron Brand. It's actually really fun in Chapter 6. You'll see it in my video to come back here with the flails and fight the commando guys with the flails, because they just, like, they never block. So you can just walk up to them and do, like, whatever string you want. It's really fun.
Well, there, on that cutscene, I just, you know, gave everything to Miramasa, got the strongbow. I always recommend getting the strongbow before doing this fight. You know, I've seen some people do it afterwards, but you might as well get it beforehand.
I did a little bit of testing here, and I don't think, you know, the rocket guy that comes out after this, I don't think you can make the time limit with the regular bow. He takes, God, what was it? I think 5 or 6 arrows to kill with the regular bow, and that is with the last one knocking him into a wall. and you run out of time on like your 4th or 5th shot. So I think you actually do need to get the strongbow here if you want to make this time limit coming up.
Well, look how strong that chain is that are connecting the 2 flails.
Yeah,
that thing blocks bullets, man.
Yeah,
look at that.
And if you look at it like in the game, it actually looks like rope. Maybe that's some some bitchin' paracord.
Kevlar. But you cannot shoot the helicopter here and make it fly away like you can in Black. So
yeah, that's a
the
shame.
reason I didn't do it.
I mean, how long is that? I mean, that's a good like 20 seconds you just have to waste.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame. Yeah, so this guy here, the angle that you've got right here, this is the best angle to hit him. This is where I tested it with the regular bow, and he just took too many arrows to kill.
Right. And like I said, if he falls down and he has to get recentered, I don't know if that helps or not, but I mean the timer still ran down. I still haven't picked up the guillotine throw. I just don't think I'm going to pick it up, just because I kept guillotine throwing instead of on landing whenever I needed to, and I just don't want to mess with that part of it.
I have it on my run, and that's something that I'm still adjusting to, honestly, because it's really tough to break, God knows how many hours of like NGB muscle memory, but unless I find a really, really specific use for it, which I haven't yet, I wouldn't recommend picking that up, because if you're used to Black's on landing timings, like you will just get guillotine throws all the time, and it's just really irritating.
Yeah.
And the guillotine throw sucks in this game. It's weak. The recovery on it is absolutely ridiculous because it takes you like half a year to move after you do it. So I still haven't found a good case for picking it up.
I always kind of roll in the other direction before I go to. Did you see him block that?
Sealer, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, that's the cool thing about some of these.
I bet you was feeling pretty good after that.
Like, yeah, until he got pummeled in the face.
Yeah.
So, after this, I actually went and tested, the time limit of the chapter to see how much more I had. I could have finished it out. I had plenty of kills. I'm not sure what the kills are in this chapter.
Yeah, I suppose kills aren't really a problem, are they, on this kind of run? Because you're always going to be respawning extra kills, so even if you did just the bare minimum, you would make your kill bonus. Whereas here, you're killing 3, 4, 5 enemies multiple times.
I mean, again, I'm going to put all that in the information section or description section, whatever, of my YouTube video. I can't, when I'm recording, it won't let me get out of my record screen to
the kills
look
are
at
55
else.
In this chapter. So
how many?
55. I mean, you're going to be way past that.
And one reason why I actually kind of go off to the side before, to the right-hand side before I make that corner is because if the one guy is there on the left and he sees you, the timer will start. I mean, the timer's generous anyway.
Yeah.
But it will start, and it's like, well, why make it start if you don't have to?
Did you get your debilitator when you got the strongbow?
Yes, I do have it.
Yeah.
But
I know the UT is not a guaranteed kill on these guys at level 1.
At level 1, yeah.
Yeah, they can survive it sometimes, even with Armlet of the Sun on. If you knock them into a wall, I think it will kill them every time, but you're not always going to be guaranteed to knock them into a wall.
And then the last thing you want to do is try to roll up a little bit, because if they all stand far back, you might not hit any of them. Mm-hmm. But, get right when you do your on landing or something to charge, they stun you with a... See, I was hoping a blue was going to come out there. But, hit you with and stun you, and then all of a sudden you lose your UT and your essence.
Yeah, these guys don't seem as good about shooting you on landing, whereas the commando guys, they shoot you like crazy when you try and do an on landing. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I always roll away, because it's like if I try to just stand there and I don't jump on their head, they always just... And I hate the sound of ugh. Where they sit there and, stab at you and everything like that. So it's just a bad habit, and the thing about it is, we've talked about it, my bad habits are so ingrained in me now, it's hard for me to learn some of the newer stuff. that I need to learn, like, especially on that Alma fight, like we were talking about, the XXYB forward Y combo. But hey, man, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, I guess.
Oh, you can. It just takes longer.
Yeah.
So did you do any more fights here, or is this...
No, that was
Did you wrap
it.
up?
That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the time limit on this chapter, actually?
23 minutes.
23 minutes, okay.
Yeah, I knew the time limit was 23.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'll put everything in the info section. But, you know, if you're doing the way that I'm doing, like you said, you'll always make the kills.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be way over on kills, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, like almost double. Well, no, over double.
Yeah. Well, so the time limit is 23 minutes. The reason my essence is 0 is I upgraded my wooden sword. So my wooden sword now is at level 6, and level 7 becomes the UF, and I have like 20,000 in essence. So at the beginning of chapter 9, because I have plenty of time in chapter 9, I'm going to figure out if I'm going to go back through the town and just kind of do the same thing. I know that's boring, but it goes with, you know, what we're saying, showing where all the points come from. But other than that, I think that's it. I mean, I didn't use my Dobby. Maybe I could, but I was so comfortable just doing what I was doing.
Yeah, but the problem is that the level 1 UT, you know, it's not a guaranteed kill. If you could upgrade it to level 2 in chapter 8, like it would be a no-brainer, I think. Like, get the Debilero straight away and then upgrade it to level 2, and then like your UT would just rip through everything. Well, I might try that on my run and see how it goes, like just with the level 1.
And I think that's kind of good. What I've been doing and what you've been showing, and showing the different sides of the speed and the score and the different strategies on a successive play from just a regular playthrough. So, giving out good information, folks. But that is it for Chapter 8, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.
Take care, everybody.